Aloha. Welcome to TMDR, the Maui Daily Report for Tuesday, May 20th, 2025. I'm Patty Lee, and these are some of the stories that may interest you today. A Hawaiian Airlines flight was on the runway about to take off from San Diego on its way to Honolulu this morning when a passenger told a flight attendant there was a possible bomb on board. The attendant told the captain, who called the police. Law enforcement boarded the aircraft and took a man away in handcuffs. The plane was moved to a safe location, evacuated, and searched. No explosives were found. Meanwhile, back here at home, PFAS are often called forever chemicals and linked to environmental and health concerns. They have contaminated the soil at the Aircraft Rescue and Firefighting Training Pit at the north side of the Kahului Airport. PFAS contained in previous versions of firefighting foam deployed at the site seeped into the ground. A public meeting to discuss soil excavation plans will be held at the airport from 5 to 6:30 p.m. tomorrow at a conference room across from the Maui Releasing the Sun statue in the courtyard. Someone is digging up dirt on Michael Baskin. The owner of Paia Inn is being sued in federal court for rampant sexual harassment of young female employees, including teenagers. Here's a replay of what some women had to say at a protest outside his inn 4 years ago on June 7th, 2021.
Now for explosive news coming out of Paia, where multiple former employees of Paia Inn are accusing owner Michael Baskin of sexual harassment, according to the Maui News. A victims rally was held in front of the inn on Friday, where two former employees and the former acting HR director spoke publicly about Baskin's alleged sexual harassment.
As the HR manager, I received a number of reports of harassment from him towards the employees. When I approached him about it with an action plan to take appropriate steps to protect both the employees and his companies, he immediately fired me. He told me I had no right to be doing that, even though I had a legal and moral obligation to follow through on the reports I'd been given.
My name is Paia. I'm also a former employee of Michael Baskin. I, and as well as many others, have been sexually harassed by this man. Going to work every day was stressful.
Me and a number of other girls who also resigned just felt like we couldn't continue to work for someone who was not only making girls feel unsafe, but we didn't feel entirely safe coming to work after that.
So we're out here today just to let all of his victims know, both the current and past, that they're not alone, that other women have gone through this, and to support the victims who did come forward to me, and just celebrate their courage and their bravery and their desire to make change and to make sure that no one else goes through this, because no one should ever be afraid to go to work.
We have all left and lost our jobs, but you know, I would do it again a million times over, because I will not stand for this, and he needs to know, like, it's not okay the way you treat women. And I'm so proud of everybody that's come forward already.
It's been really hard on all of us, but we've walked out and now we're standing up for what's right.
Republicans in Washington, D.C. are coming after your health care and Social Security. Now they want your food. If you take food stamps away, more than 10% of families in Hawaii will go to bed hungry. Republicans in Congress want to slash $300 billion from SNAP, the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program that feeds people that need it most, like the people that need the Maui Food Bank. The Maui Food Bank has announced that the recent Stamp Out Hunger food drive to help provide meals to local families facing food insecurity collected more than 26,000 pounds of food from Maui residents. Hunger never sleeps. Donations are always accepted at mauifoodbank.org. Anyone who has hiked, biked, or driven across state-managed land on Oahu has likely used the Na'alahele Trail or Access Road. The program, part of the DLNR Division of Forestry and Wildlife, manages hundreds of miles of trails and access roads across the state. Na'alahele is updating its program plan, originally created in 1991, and seeks community input tomorrow, Wednesday, May 21st, from 5 to 6:30 p.m. via Zoom. The Great Hawaiian Voyaging Canoes Hokulea and Hikianalia are scheduled to depart Hilo for French Polynesia on May 30th to resume the 4-year Moana Nui Akea voyage, circumnavigation of the Pacific. The vessels will traverse 43,000 nautical miles, visit 36 countries and archipelagos, 100 indigenous territories, and more than 345 ports. Follow the voyage at hokulea.com or Facebook and Instagram at Hokulea Crew. The FCC has approved the merger of telecom behemoths Verizon and Frontier, but no concessions were made to help consumers. Instead, the corporations were forced to vow to terminate their diversity, equity, and inclusion policies that help their own employees and the communities they serve. Meanwhile, cable giants Spectrum, Charter, and Cox have announced a $35 billion merger, which would make them the biggest cable corporation of them all. Yes, this is the same Spectrum that apparently, along with the State Department of Commerce and Consumer Affairs Cable Division, is planning to defund Akaku. Here are some sparks that flew at the hearing last December.
I ask you this. Can you imagine New York City without Central Park? Can you imagine Boston without Boston Commons? These public spaces where people come together? Can you imagine Maui without Akaku? It is unfortunate that we seem to be moving to a time when we go to marginalized communities for those with the least amount of resources in order to take resources and money to the people at the top. In other words, cut Akaku and give it to a multi-billion-dollar corporation.
I wanted to point out, I moved here in 2013, and my cable, telephone, and internet bill was about $160 then, and today it's about $240 for the same service. So I'm not particularly a big fan of Spectrum, and probably the only reason I'm still subscribing to the cable is so I can watch Akaku, which I do pretty much every day. I watch the Maui Daily Report. It used to be the Maui Daily every day. That's how I get my news. The news on that show you're not going to see on the network, the local news shows on the network. It's very tailored to the people of Maui. I don't know what we would do without that.
It seems to me that your mind is made up and Spectrum will get its way. Department of Consumer Protection, whom are you protecting? The consumer or a greedy corporation? Does Spectrum pay you? I hope you change your mind, and if not, I hope this ends up in court so that hypocrisy and corruption will be exposed. If my assumption is correct, then shame on you. Shame on you, TCCA.
I relied on Akaku heavily during the Lahaina fire and Kula fire's aftermath. I was grateful to have a Maui station to turn to as a resource. I appreciate Channel 53 when I watch live coverage of the Maui County Council meetings or the Planning Commission meetings. I also watch their election coverage. In this age of misinformation and lack of access to the truth,
I just wanted to go on the record to say that cutting any funding for Akaku would be a terrible disservice to our community.
And now they want to take away the voice? That voice, that one like me that showed up at Akaku on 8/8 or 8/9, whatever day that was, and spoke about just some things that can help you get through this terrible crisis. And I support Akaku and all that they do to keep on bringing hope to this land.
Please don't cut Akaku. It's not the right thing to do. I think you know that. Thank you.
This is how we stay connected. And I think that's what's important. Today we are here in unity because we are connected, because it takes much more than a handful of employees to create Akaku. We are the mirror of the county. We have stories to share, not only ourselves, but our volunteers, the contributors, people who have learned to create videos, segments, stories to share with the rest of the community. Akaku is yet to do more with your help, if you hear us today. Thank you.
The free 56th annual Barrio Fiesta will be offering 2 days of cultural performances, contests, food, and community this Friday and Saturday, May 23rd and 24th at the Binhi at Ani Filipino Community Center across from Maui County Intermediate School. I don't know what happened to the 2024 video, so here's a look at the 2023 Barrio Fiesta.
Good evening. Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. Naimbag nga rabi iyo amin apo. Thank you so much for coming to the 54th annual Barrio Fiesta. It's the longest running Filipino fiesta outside of the Philippines. And I'm so honored to be your host for this evening. Tonight, we celebrate 54 years of the Barrio Fiesta, which was first organized by the Maui Filipino Community Council, held on May 31st, 1970 at the War Memorial Complex next to the swimming pool. Since 2016, the Barrio Fiesta has been held here at Binhi at Ani Filipino Community Center. If you have a chance, go walk around, go to different booths, and you can actually buy and support different organizations. It's actually going to for a good cause. And inside, you can visit a lot of things over there. We have the cultural villages. There's 3 things that we're so fond of. It's basketball, boxing, and beauty pageants. And speaking about beauty pageants, the Miss Maui Filipina pageant will be held next week, Friday, June 2nd, right here at Binhi at Ani.
And I am honored to be introducing the 2023 Miss Maui Filipina Scholarship Pageant contestants. I'd like to introduce to you the reigning Miss Maui Filipina 2022, Miss Linnell Joy Alvarez. Contestant number 1, Casey Kababa. Contestant number 3, Joanne Page Cruz Guevara. Contestant number 4, Sandra Desharto. How about another round of applause for the contestants vying for the title of Miss Maui Filipina 2023.
If you survived the fun at the Barrio Fiesta Friday and Saturday, Jazz Maui will present a special sunset concert this Sunday, May 25th from 5 to 7 p.m. at the Maui Ku'ia Estate Chocolate Factory in Lahaina. The event is to raise funds for the King Kekalike High School Music Program 2025 Japan Tour. Seating is limited and tickets must be purchased in advance at mauichocolate.com. If you don't want to make the trek to Lahaina, Jazz Maui and South Maui Learning Ohana are putting on a musical tribute to Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander Heritage Month on the South Shore. It is happening on the altitude deck at Kihei Charter School in the Tech Park at 5 p.m. on Saturday, and it features Grammy-nominated violinist Megakura, saxophone innovator Sam Newsom, and local greats Jeff Helmer on piano and Dave Graber on bass. Seating is limited. You can BYOB. Go to jazzmaui.org for all the details and dinner reservations. Leonardo da Vinci may have been the smartest person who ever lived. He painted the Mona Lisa, the Last Supper, and even invented a helicopter. Akaku will be hosting an overview of the video editing application named after him, DaVinci Resolve, this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Join us in our media lab in Kahului as trainer Austin Hutto, professional cinematographer and editor, will walk participants through the popular free editing platform. Attendees can bring their questions and could possibly start a users group. This event and future workshops of its kind are free for supporting members and $20 for everybody else. So save money and become a member today. You must register to attend by Friday at noon. Call Akaku at 808-871-5554. And that's it for today's Maui Daily Report. Mahalo for joining us, and please keep watching Akaku channels 53, 54, and 55. You can watch Akaku at akaku.org or on your phone 24/7 with our app, Maui Stream. If you're in transit, listen to TMDR on your radio between 7 and 8 p.m. on KAKU 88.5 FM. This is how we stay connected. I'm Patty Lee, and today is World Bee Day, so keep that good buzz going. Aloha.